This was me a year ago today, working full-time, school full-time, training full-time, all for my goals, aspirations, and dreams. During the end of my bulk here, I went crazy all the way to 215 pounds or 98 kilograms. It took me eating 5 to 8 meals per day, a lot of the time, twice as large as a regular person's meal. At this point, training was the easy part. Let's get that easy money, twin. For this workout, my first exercise is going to be a machine shoulder press. The machine shoulder press mainly works the front of your shoulders, which is also called the front deltoid. Here I'm doing 3 sets, and each set I'm trying to get 1 more rep than I did last time I did this exercise. Instead of doing a boring 10 rep per set scheme, I try to set rep ranges and choose a weight that I know I can push myself to failure while hitting between the rep range. For example, with this exercise, I try to get between a range of 9 to 12 reps. So I'll choose an appropriate weight that I know I can do to failure while getting at least 9 reps and ideally 12. When I'm doing each set, I'm thinking about trying to hit 12, especially on the first set. But if I don't hit 12, that's all right. And then for the second and third sets, I'll try to hit the same number I got on the first set. But ideally, on the third set, I will still at least get 9 reps. But on the second set, if I only manage to get 9 reps with the same weight, then for the third set, I'll know that I have to lower the weight to hit at least 9 reps for that set as well, which I don't mind doing. This ensures that I'm actually pushing myself to true failure, knowing that I did my best while not beating myself up about it for not getting a specific number of reps. Because a lot of the time, people get really disappointed when they don't hit the number of reps that they wanted to get on a set. Like if you wanted to hit 10 reps, but you didn't get 10 reps and you only got 8, a lot of people will actually get really frustrated that they did their best and they couldn't get that number specifically. So with my philosophy, that won't really happen and you won't get frustrated while training. You won't beat yourself up about it. When you come to the gym, it's about effort. Everyone's there for a reason, whether it's to improve your looks, health, or fitness. We all train with a purpose and have a goal in mind. So of course, do yourself the service of putting in as much effort as you can into your workouts. For the second exercise here, I'm doing a cable lateral raise. This exercise predominantly hits the side of your shoulder, which is called the lateral delt. This is the muscle that you want to work if you want to become broader and add width to your physique. To get the best stretch on this exercise, you want to set the pin just below your hip, pull the handle and take a step away from the machine to create space in between the machine and the starting position of the exercise so that you can keep constant tension even at the bottom of the exercise. This might make you lower the weight a little bit, but it's going to result in the most amount of muscle growth since tension is one of the key factors of hypertrophy training. This also reinforces greater technique, which keeps your ego out the door, making sure that your joints are safe on every lift. Finally, just pull the weight to your side with a slight bend in your arm and lower the weight back down slowly, under control. Bonus tip, I hold the machine with my other hand to ensure balance and stability while I'm doing the exercise. For an exercise like this, where you're alternating between one side and the other, you don't need as long of a rest break in between sets, since one side is already resting while you're doing the other. So I rested about 30 seconds before doing the next set. Again, doing 3 sets of 9 to 12 reps, lowering the weight by 1 increment for the next set if I only managed to get 9 reps for the current set. Doing a cable lateral raise is a nice change from dumbbell lateral raises, since the machine supports you, keeps you upright, which means doing this exercise will accumulate less systemic fatigue and axial fatigue, lowering the overall strain on your body, making this a better exercise and much more efficient to just doing dumbbells all the time. A lot of these other fitness influencers will bullshit you, telling you that there's an easier way to do the exercise while getting more results. But there's not really anything to beat the effort that you put into the gym. And the effort that you put into the gym can be really fun when it's really rewarding. If you just learn how to do things properly with good technique and making sure that you're safe from workout to workout, then it's really easy to start enjoying training in the gym, which will ultimately make the gym feel like a second home to you, somewhere that you really want to go each and every day. Your workout plan should be something that you enjoy doing. It shouldn't feel like a chore. So having the right workout plan is crucial to make it something that you'll stick with for the rest of your life. You're also not going to want to go to the gym if you're not seeing good results. If you're not seeing results, hire a trainer who knows exactly what you're missing. Someone passionate about training like I am at a reasonable price. You want a high quality trainer, not someone at Planet Fitness getting paid minimum wage who knows nothing about effective workouts or diet planning. I know and follow countless dieting hacks. One simple one, I eat fruits earlier and vegetables later in the day. It helps with satiety when cutting weight. On the other hand, when I'm bulking, I eat half to a quarter as many vegetables to keep my appetite high for calorie-dense meals. To gain or lose weight and keep your results for life, hire me. I'll build you healthy, sustainable habits in under 2 months. My clients often see visible progress within the first week. My pricing is flexible based on how many days you want to train. You can get a custom workout plan from 1 to 5 days per week for $40 per day, renewed weekly for convenience. I'll also create a complimentary diet plan tailored to your current eating habits, and I'll answer all your diet-related questions within 24 hours, guaranteed or your money back. Spots are limited, so act quickly. DM me calves on Instagram, link down below. My workouts typically last an hour, but they can be shorter or longer depending on how many total sets I'm doing, how long I'm resting between sets, and as well as how I'm feeling that day. For my third exercise, I'm doing a cable rear fly. First, you want to slide the pin up so that's the same height as your shoulder. I'm also holding the machine with my other arm for this exercise. And what you want to do is get into the same stance as when you were doing the last exercise, the cable lateral raise. Then while using your grip strength to grip the handle, do not pull using any of your arm muscles. Try to focus all your attention on your rear delt, which is the back part of your shoulder. Have that muscle being the driving factor for pulling the weight to your side. And then control the weight back down, focusing on that muscle while keeping your arm in the same position throughout the whole range of motion. And repeat this for each rep. Once you get to 12 reps or hit failure, switch over to the other side and repeat the process until you hit the same number of reps. I like to stop at the same number of reps so that I've worked both sides equally, meaning that I have a less likelihood of developing any muscle imbalances from one side to the other. I don't mean to get really sciencey here with the terminology, but the initial part of moving the weight is called the concentric, and the lower and controlled part of the exercise is called the eccentric. So for the concentric part of any lift, you want this movement to be as quick as possible, moving the weight to get to the other side of the range of motion, using all of your strength to get the weight there, and then all the way back to the starting point with the eccentrics. You want to lower the weight slowly and under control so that you're keeping constant tension, making sure that you're engaging your muscles effectively. Another thing is if you have proper technique, each rep's going to feel really smooth due to the fact that each rep's going to be the same, so you're not going to be swaying or shaking, which means you're going to feel more stable and your muscles are going to thank you for it. Anyways, aside from me feeling great during my workout, check out Unc next to me over here. He's really feeling himself. You know, showing up day after day isn't easy. I'm happy to see that he's here doing what he needs to try to better his health, leading to an enriched life. You know, I was about to do the other half of my third set when brother over here came up to me and started asking me about my routine. So I got into a deep conversation with him about how we go about our daily lives. I do enjoy conversing with people and getting to know them and seeing what ideas they have, because you could always learn something from talking to other people. When you talk to other people, they'll inspire new ideas into you. So in a way, it's mutually beneficial. Now we do ramble on for a good whole 8 minutes here. So if you don't want to watch this, then you can fast forward to 18:55 for the next exercise. Rather than trying to explain to you what me and bro were talking about, I'd rather critique Unc's form behind me. So watching the replay, Unc is doing his reps really quickly. There's a lot of issues with his technique. So Unc isn't really controlling the eccentrics of the lift. And for the machine lat pull down, you want to slowly come back up with the bar handle, as this is the eccentric part of the lift when the weight stack is going back down on the opposite side of the machine. Another crucial thing here to look out for is that he's not going the full range of motion. The full range of motion ensures that you're supposed to lock out at the top, where you're getting the maximum stretch for your back muscles. But clearly he's only going back up 2/3 of the way there for each and every rep. So he's not actually engaging his back muscles fully, which just means that he's not going to get the maximum amount of results from his workout. I'd rather see him lower the weight by like 30 pounds for this exercise and going through the full range of motion. To really put into perspective how much of a big difference this makes, when you're doing the machine lat pull down like Unc is doing behind me, it's shifting the goal from keeping tension on the muscle, so his body is changing the exercise into a different one where it's more about muscular endurance and cardio. So instead of developing his back, he's just stimulating his digestive system to work more efficiently, which just means that he's not building up his back muscles from his workout and only getting a little bit of health benefits. Obviously, it's better than if you're not going to the gym at all, but this is not going to lead to optimal results. And just like anything else you're doing, if you're taking the time to go to the gym, you want to get the best results that you can for the amount of time that you're putting into it. Unc clearly cares about his looks. He's checking himself out in the mirror between every set. Some people have this perspective about gym goers thinking that they're narcissistic because they always like to look at themselves. But that's not really the case. If you think about it, everybody cares about their looks to a certain degree. And when you're in the gym, you're there to work on yourself. Working on your physique and the way you present yourself comes along as a byproduct of going to the gym. So in a way, it's kind of hypocritical that they think it's wrong to look at yourself in the mirror in between your workout, where the environment permits you to. Another way to look at it is if you look into the mirror, it's a constant reminder to yourself to do better. If you never look in the mirror, then you won't know how you're progressing or if you're actually getting worse. So the best way to prevent yourself from getting worse is by looking at yourself in the mirror and then trying to figure out more ways where you can improve. There's multiple ways to have a positive mindset, just like there's multiple ways to have a negative mindset. For example, whether you drink a lot or do a lot of recreational drugs, both of them in excess leads to negative outcomes. There's multiple ways to develop a positive mindset for yourself to stay on task. A lot of common reasons include doing it for yourself. For example, if you just had a heart attack and you want to improve your health so that you don't get another heart attack, or you're trying to do it for your loved ones to take care of your baby and make sure that they thrive. And a third way that I personally really relate to is helping with your mental disorders. So I've definitely had my own fair share of traumatic experiences. And for me, going to the gym in a way is kind of like therapy. It makes me feel more relaxed, and I get to let out all of my negative emotions and put it towards something positive where I get to express my negative tension and let it all out during my workout. With all the stress that Gen Z face in the hands of corruption, I would acknowledge that training is what keeps me sane for the rest of the day. Now, if you've gotten this far along into the video, I hope you learned something new, got inspired to lift and dominate the war they created within us by subscribing, liking the video to push it in the YouTube algorithm, and using my channel as a free resource to start your journey to self-improvement. Hypothetically, if you asked me a year ago if I thought I was going to dedicate my time to making videos for people, it would be a lie if I said that I did. But here we are, so let's keep it going to spread love and positivity into our community so that we may all have a happier future together. With all of the recent advancements in technology like smartphones and AI, I believe the 2000s marks a turning point in time where we can all see the possibility of an equal yet happier future without the need to exploit others. There's so much knowledge that can be accessed to improve all aspects of our lives. We can change the system in a way where we encourage others to work their ways out of toxic cycles if they choose to, where anyone willing to save themselves won't need to at the expense of others.
So aside from the economic passes, I don't know which passes yet, but I know it's going to be a business one. But I'm also minor in communication. So many people minor in that. No, yeah, because it's the easiest one I've really touched on. I wanted to do biology, but they don't have biology. They have chemistry and physics. That's weird. I was thinking maybe if I took biology as a minor, then it would be easier to do like exercise related classes. Since they don't have it. And Brooklyn's like, you know, Brooklyn's like, I'm not really like that.
All right, enough of that. You guys came here to see me work out and to see me give critical improvements to your workouts. After that long rest break, I finally managed to do the other side for my third set. Now, since I can't get the weight back up anymore for the concentrics, I am forcing a couple more reps here, pushing through failure by bringing the weight up and then slowly controlling the weight back down on the eccentrics, which is part of the exercise that grows the muscle more. At this point, we're halfway through the workout. The next 4 exercises are going to be for your arms, 2 for your biceps, and 2 for your triceps. The first exercise for the bicep is going to be a dumbbell crossbody hammer curl. I prefer a crossbody hammer curl as opposed to the normal hammer curls because the normal hammer curls only work the biceps, whereas the crossbody hammer curl variation gets the forearms into the exercise, which means you're able to lift a lot more weight since you have another muscle helping out your biceps. And with this exercise, because I'm working my forearms, I don't need to include another forearm exercise into my workouts. This exercise is pretty self-explanatory. Just maintain an upright posture with a straight back and bring the dumbbells across the midline of your chest. By pulling the weight up and alternating for reps, counting each side separately. As for my rest break in between these sets, I typically rest about a minute to a minute 30 in between my arm exercises, but anywhere between 1 to 3 minutes is typically a good rest time for isolation exercises, as scientifically it's been shown that this is the optimal amount of time where your muscles are going to have enough recovery for the next set without waiting for too long, where your muscles aren't going to be warm anymore. We're raw. This ain't no bullshit. We're in Planet fucking Fitness, getting this real footage out live as it is, and you'll see how it is for most people to train in the gym. None of that filtered BS that other people put up on their pages. At this point, you could tell I was getting a little gaseous from all the food that I ate earlier. The last major cue I want you guys to notice is when I rock from side to side. This helps build up the momentum to get the weight up on the concentrics, which helps me progress the weight faster on this exercise. Moving on, I've got the Dumbbell Incline Skullcrushers. This exercise mainly works the long head of the triceps, which is the part of the tricep that grows the most amount of mass. The tricep has 3 heads in total, the long, medial, and lateral heads, and the long head is what mainly powers the tricep, whereas the medial and lateral heads add definition to the tricep. And I'm choosing to do a 30-degree incline variation here because the incline variation puts the tricep at an angle that gives me a deeper stretch when I'm going down at the bottom of the exercise. A couple of things to look out for technique. Number 1, bring the dumbbells just above your eyes. And what you want to do is hold the dumbbells at a neutral grip. Now slowly under control, lower the dumbbells down until they touch your shoulders. And as you're lowering, break your elbows forward. This is going to remove any discomfort that people might get from this exercise. And then using your strength, pop the weight back up to the starting position. Repeat this for reps. Bonus tip, if you brace and keep arched back, you're going to be able to generate more strength and stability. Now I just ponder life while I rest for a minute before hitting the next set. And of course, you know I gotta stay hydrated. Water is the best for you. Stay hydrated, guys. Right here, you're gonna see that I'm struggling to get the weight up any further, but I'm still gonna push through failure. And to do this, I'm just gonna push up the weight on the concentrics as if I was doing a bench press. And then going back to the original position and lowering back down slowly under control. For our second bicep exercise, we're going to be doing a dumbbell spider curl. The dumbbell spider curl mainly targets the short head of the bicep, so this is mainly going to build the width of our biceps. As you can see, I have this bench set up at a 60-degree incline, and then what you're going to want to do is slowly lower yourself until your chest is on the pad with the dumbbells in your hands. Now curl the dumbbells up from a neutral grip to a supinated grip. This is called supination, and ideally you want your pinkies up at the top of each rep and lower the weight back down slowly until you're back where you started, and repeat for reps.
Nothing in sight, forever in flight. Follow those lines, we'll make it this time. Blurry street lights, work as a guide to memories that we're making tonight. Oh yeah, we'll make it tonight. Yeah. I'll do anything that I feel like I wanna do. I'm living.
For the final exercise, I'm doing a dumbbell Tate press. The dumbbell Tate press is a lesser known exercise, but it targets the lateral and medial heads of the tricep really well. What you want to do is get the dumbbells above your head and then slowly lower the weight down for each rep, just touching your chest with the weight and coming back up. Also focus on keeping your elbows flared out to your side. That's the key thing to make this a tricep exercise. That wraps up this video, guys. Don't forget to lift, learn, and dominate.